Uber is not only stealing your surge, they're actually trying to hide the fact that they're stealing your surge. Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur, and this is going to be a very interesting video to make. And you're going to find out why in a minute for long-time viewers of the channel. Because I got to do this in a way that I'm not deliberately stepping on any toes. But it is a very, very important topic, and you know, so I'm going to do the best I can. This is good. So I was watching another Uber tuber who I normally don't watch. In fact, to be perfectly frank, I think he's a little annoying. But the funny thing is, as much as we don't really like each other, I was just kind of checking out his channel recently. I haven't watched him in months. I was just kind of curious what he thought of a lot of the recent Uber changes that have been happening. And for the first time in a long time, he seems to kind of be agreeing with me on a lot of topics. I'm not going to say exactly what, because there's a few things he's also still disagreeing with me on. But it's just a fascinating situation that for someone who called me a loser and that I didn't know what I was talking about, and that I should stop complaining, I should just start driving, is finally starting to come around and see that, yeah, some of the things that I've been predicting were coming for a long, long time have actually come true. And they're not only coming true, they're getting way, way worse. And it's culminated in him breaking a major story about how Uber is not only stealing your surge, but they're hiding it now that they're stealing it. Now, Uber stealing your surge is nothing new. Even he's like, you know, yeah, Uber's price gouging, they're stealing. I mean, what else is new? I mean, you know, you're working for a really bad company. One's like, well, sucks, and they're screwing me, and they're possibly doing something illegal, but whatever, that's the way it goes. But Uber is taking a step further. See, Uber implemented several months ago an upfront pricing model that they calculate a distance and time that it would take to do a ride, and they quote the rider on that trip. Now, in some cases, it takes longer or you have to go farther, and then Uber loses money on the ride. More often than not, though, what happens is Uber overestimates the ride costs, and instead of refunding that money to the passenger, which they should, or splitting it evenly with the driver, which would be even better, they keep all of that. And what happens is the 25% fee that you're supposed to be paying turns into 30, 40, sometimes 55%. And they even now do this with the surge. I've done videos about this where the surge used to be a multiplier, like 2.0x, 3.0x, and that's 3 times. And it was very simple. It would be like, okay, this is the fare. It's say it's 50 cents a mile. Well, it's 60 cents a mile. So let's just go with that. And it's timing 2 times surge. Well, okay, now it's $1.20 a mile. Pretty easy, of course. But Uber had to mess with it, of course. So now they give you like a straight up dollar amount. They say you're going to make $2 extra on this trip. You're going to make $4 extra. You're going to make $15 extra. And in some cases it can work. Like if you do like a lot of short rides, I've heard that this new surge works out better. But if you're doing a long ride, you can get screwed because that long ride that you used to get like an additional $40, $50 in surge, now you're getting $10 or $5. And here's the thing, Uber is still charging the multiplier to the passenger. They're just keeping the rest for themselves. But when you look at the surge map now, and it has a certain amount on it, you can kind of guess more or less what the surge is going to be. Like when you see they're saying like, oh, it's a $10 guaranteed surge, it's like, oh, must be surging 4 to 6 times, somewhere around that ballpark. Well, what this Uber tuber discovered, and I'm hesitant to use his name because, again, there's a lot of bad blood there. And since we are kind of on the same page with this, I don't want to bring unnecessary attention to it. But I am going to... I did like his video, which is the first time I've liked anything he's done in a long time. So, you know, check out my liked videos. That's how you can find this. And you can see the screenshots for yourself. But what appears to be happening is on the surge map for the drivers, it's saying like you're getting like an additional $1.50 for this ride. And the surge is showing to be very, very light. Whereas on the passenger side of the app, the price is extraordinarily high in the sense that, you know, you might be getting about $25 for that ride, but the passenger is paying $79, which means Uber is not only taking the surge, which in all fairness, they've been doing for a while, but they're hiding the fact. They're trying to hide the fact. They're trying to act like, oh, it's not really surging. It's not that busy. So $25, that's pretty good for you. When in reality, it's surging much higher. And heck, they might even be doing it because maybe even their little upfront price surging, maybe they want to go like, you know what, we just don't want to be giving the driver a $5 surge, even though they're entitled to it. So we're just going to say it's $1.50, and on the map, we're going to show that it's light surging, and maybe the drivers will be too stupid to check the app. Even though the drivers who do this full time have multiple phones and can check these things. So yeah, I want to say I'm surprised. I'm not. I'm really not. In fact, the funny thing about this whole thing is, even though it's like I applaud this UberTuber for finally understanding what's going on and for finally complaining about it, and actually saying the thing I never thought I'd hear him say, like, I'm going to be checking my fares, and if Uber's pulling this stunt, I'm going to drive for Lyft. Don't want to, like Uber more, going to drive for Lyft. But I've been making videos where I've been showing fares of like 80% sometimes taken out, or like, you know, my most famous one was like, I think the fare was like $119, and I'm gonna have the image like right here, but I'm gonna look it up after I record this video, so it might not be exactly, but I recall like $80 being taken out of the fare, and the driver got $20. And that's not right. And that's been going on for a long, long time. So it's interesting that this was the thing that actually pushed this person over the edge. Like, you know, I think if you're getting screwed, you're getting screwed. And, you know, from my perspective, I had the sense to see where it was heading, you know, way before it happened. Like once I saw that first upfront pricing where it was like, you're losing more than 20%, I saw where this was going. And that's when I like really that's where I started to like slam on the brakes and say, no, not going to be a part of this. Not going to be taken advantage that way. And it's just gotten worse and worse and worse. But this highlights another interesting problem because it kind of highlights the issue. Does Uber owe us to be honest about what they're charging? I mean, technically, if you're an independent contractor, there's things you need to know up front. You need to know how much you're getting paid. You need to know what the distance is. You need to know where you're going. You need to know all these things that Uber just simply does not tell you. And this is just one more thing that Uber is now not telling us. Like, oh, there's a surge and it's this big, when really it's this big. Or well, maybe this big. I mean, let's be fair. Let's not overstate it. But they're going to keep doing it, and they're going to keep penny pinching the drivers. Like, unlike Lyft, which I'm kind of surprised Lyft has not followed suit, but I'm guessing the protests are scaring them a little bit, especially since they just went public and their stock is, you probably saw earlier, is not doing particularly well right now. It's not doing horrible, but the dream has been popped pretty quickly. So maybe they don't want to like cause any more negative publicity. But Uber is definitely trying to squeeze and pinch the pennies from the drivers before their IPO to show as best as they can that they are actually profitable. And here's one of the reasons why this video stood out, aside from the fact that it was a well-made video. You know, for all the things we disagree with, he can effectively make a very good point sometimes. But that guy loves Uber. Like, he doesn't just love Uber, he practically worships Uber. And I kind of understand why. He makes a lot of money on this. And because his mom is not doing too well, which, by the way, I hope she's doing better. I really hope she is. It's given him the freedom to take care of her. And you know what? That kind of freedom is why a lot of people still like Uber. And even he's going like, this isn't right. His video is even titled something along the lines of, "This is criminal." Personally, I think it's been criminal for a long, long time. And my stance has been, and this is where we diverge quite a bit, is I was telling people, look, you got to stop driving. Not only because they're going to keep doing it, they're going to keep taking advantage of you until you quit, but when you accept this, you screw your fellow drivers over because you send a strong message that, hey, you're willing to be taken advantage of. There needs to be a meltdown of the service, and he's finally starting to say that you should stop driving for Uber and not let them take advantage of you, but I know he's still in that situation where he just can't quite do it, which a lot of drivers find themselves in. So, yeah, it's not a new surge. It's just Uber is continuing to do what they've always done. Now they're just trying to hide it, which I don't even know why they're bothering, because it's like, we know you do this. You've been doing it for months now. Why would you try to hide it now? Now you truly are treating us like idiots. But, that's that. So, anyway, not too many screenshots this time. Because the thing is, I do want to give, even though I just cannot bring it to myself to directly link to the video and bring up the person's name, because there's just so many things wrong between us. I do want to give you a chance to seek it out and see the evidence firsthand. And I'm sure a lot of you little detectives will go do that. Or heck, maybe the YouTube algorithm will even just put the video on the side or something like that. One thing that I find kind of funny, truly, is that people who subscribe to me are recommended his channel as someone to subscribe to, and people who are subscribed to him are recommended that people subscribe to me as a channel they might like, which makes sense because we're kind of on the polar opposites. So yeah, if you want a balanced view, you would subscribe to both, but it's ironic because we definitely have issues. But but to that guy, hey, good video. I hope your mom's doing better, and for whatever it's worth, I liked the video and I did share it with friends. So there you go. But for everyone else, what do you think of this news? Like, the fact that Uber is now lying about how much surge they're taking, does that bother you anymore? Does it kind of make you go, whatever, I mean, that's what it is? Or is that the straw that breaks the camel's back? I would love to know. So, you know the drill. Comment below. Like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy my videos, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's totally optional, of course, but even as little as $1 a month goes a long way to helping the channel run smoothly, and you get access to my Patreon's exclusive blog. Also, check out my Apptrepreneur Vlogs channel. More content is coming, more vlogging content. And if you want to chat with me or any of your fellow drivers who watches these videos, check out the Apptrepreneur Hangouts on Facebook. You have to be approved to join, but we've been approving a lot of people. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.